Hello and welcome, folks, to another exciting edition of Counter-Strike Global Offensive brought to you by GoRGN TV. I'll be giving you the play-by-play tonight. I am Cannon Chow. Joining me is Mark the Shark, and we're just getting right into it as we're in the middle of pistol round. Zek is pushed all the way up the top mid and managed to catch 3 terrorists just peeping him right outside of B halls. He's going to fall back as Side Off decides to drop Disciple on an aggro B halls push now, dropping to a 4v5 here for the terrorist side. Only 30 seconds into the round. More action top mid with Lawson, peeking off wide on Cat. Getting into a bit of a gun battle here with Zek, but they don't seem to be too committed to it. That B strat having been blown up, it seems like they're electing to go back to bomb site A. We're going to meet Slip and number 4 player Stanislaw on site. Stanislaw immediately gets action as 4 players of the terrorist team run right up of lower. Arya jumping on the stairs, tries to drop Stanislaw. It does not happen. Zek and Stanislaw both pick up one. Zek getting a nice shot through the smoke. Mo responds by taking out Zek, but it's now forced into a 1-on-5 situation. Only managed to drop 2 before Slip finally took him out. Pistol round going in the favor of Mobility Gaming. And Mark, would you be so kind as to give us a roster rundown?
Sure. For Area 51, we have Area, Jay Mitchell, Lawson, Mo, and Disciple. For Mobility Gaming, we have Sideoff, Davey, Zek, Stanislaw, and Slip.
So, out of curiosity, Mark, what is your preference when given an eco round on this particular map?
For the terrorists, it looks like they're going to do a walk take on B, and that's really all you can do. It's a really close angle. If they're able to explode out of the upper tunnels, they could probably get a quick bomb plant. I think that's much more favorable than trying to take A slow, because there's just way too many angles.
Right, you are, and we're just seeing them overloaded, as you were saying, on a walk push on B. It looks like they're going to elect to wait for as long as possible to sort of just group up, see if they can't get the MG to flinch and try and push out a little too hard and check a spot. So we're going to have Arya going to lead off the action here, peeking into Davey at sight. Winds up dropping Mo instead. Side off answers on getting Arya. It's just a shooting gallery right now for the counter-terrorists, as not a single member of the terrorist side was actually managed to exit the halls. And with no bomb plants in the previous 2 rounds, it's likely to see a second save coming in here from not Area 51. Oh, it is Area 51. I'm crazy.
There was a time earlier in that round where they had a guy, their cat guy wasn't close, and if they had just taken the site, they probably could have got the bomb down, but they waited so long that they had a cat player rotate back to B, and that's where they had that crossfire come in.
Right, you are. As we're going to see what looks like instead of electing to slow walk B, they're just going to try and slow walk A instead. The bomb going to be sniping out of halls. So we're going to see if Slip and Stanislaw can manage to connect on some eco kills of their own. Overloaded on lower right now. They're going to have 4 members of the terror side running out. See if the first action is probably going to be here on Stanislaw. He sights out at least 2 members, manages to drop Arya. J Must will try to go over the sandwich box, goes down. Disciple going for a cheeky plant in sight, just gets dropped by awaiting Zek. And it's essentially a clean sweep here for Mobility Gaming. 3 frags are all that 51 has managed to collect on those first 3 rounds.
And they've all been on Mo.
Yeah, he's doing a good job getting those late kills. Mark, what do you expect to see 51 do on this first gun round?
I think they're going to work Mo's op. I was going to see if either they're going to spread or if they're going to do an A execute. It looks like they're going to opt for the spread because Mo is opping. So I think they're going to try to get mid control. They might come back and try to pinch A.
Right, you are. And we're seeing a slow work here from 51. No immediate action. Mo posting up in the A halls, just waiting for a cheeky peek from Mobility Gaming. CT setup right now is no one actively peeking window. We have Davey playing the ladder room. Just trying to control a mid boost here so that no one can get flanked as they try and hold 3 on A. Zek, Stanislaw, and Slip all playing the A bomb site, with Side Off being the lone man on CT side at bomb site B. So we're 40 seconds into the round, and again, 51 just seems to be set up pretty content to let the round play out and see if they could get an early pick, but let it revolve back into an A take. As we now see all 3 members of 51 who are on the other side of the map returning to the bomb site A. Mo's electing to go out and try and probably pick out bottom of halls. As MG is, again, just trying to figure out what's going on, because they have yet to see a terrorist, and it's a full minute into the round. But we have 51 set up for a take. It looks like they're probably going to throw some smokes and get it underway. Smokes are off. We have Stanislaw, Slip, and Zek all in sight. Let's see if they can manage to take the charge. Action coming out of lower A ramp. 51 is completely blind. These are really good flashes coming in here from Mobility. Mo gets the first shot off on Zek, though, caught in the middle of the site. Slip and Stanislaw are now left alone to deal with all 5 players. Slip manages to drop Arya, but J Motion quickly responds to make it a 4-on-3 situation. 20 seconds on the clock. The terrorists really have to start getting in the site, start playing the bomb if they want to win the round. Stanislaw peeks wide, manages to drop Lawson. Bomb is down now. It's only 10 seconds on the clock. Davey manages to pick up Disciple now. It's a 2-on-3. Crazy turn of events here for 51. As 5 seconds on the clock, and Davey's just going to drop the bomber once again. Mo, left alone. He has to find Stanislaw, but time expires. And 51 must be absolutely crushed by that. They had the site, they had control, they just could not manage to get that bomb down. Mark, is there anything you saw? Like, what play for Mobility made that happen?
They didn't give them any mid-entries at the beginning of the round. I feel like 51's strat involved getting an opening at mid and then kind of exploding or some sort. But Mobility Gaming is just playing extremely passive throughout that entire round on all fronts, and I think that it caused 51 to go and have to make an execution, and they didn't want to do that with 5 alive.
Right, and as we're going to see, just the third eco in 5 rounds from 51, I feel it'd be easier if we just talked through it. I'm curious, what is your mindset when you look at your team scoreboard and only 2 people have actually managed to connect on any kills so far? Are you, like, nervous or worried for them?
I would be a little bit nervous because generally you don't want anything like it. Really messes with your money when only one person is doing the frags, and I mean, they're fortunate in that one person is their opera, the one who needs the money the most, but it's off-putting when only one person seems to be able to connect.
We're actually going to see a bomb plant finally come in from 51. Is Mo's going to try and... as I say it, Mo becomes cursed. As Davey sweeps in from CT and manages to drop him before the bomb goes down. We are now 6 rounds in, 5 played, and 51 is yet to get the bomb down. And we're going to see Mo pick up yet another op, and we're going to see if they can actually manage to work something with it. On the counter-terrorist side right now, we have Stanislaw leading the way 8-0, not dying yet, which is just absolutely immense, as we're here on Mirage for FACEIT's North American Qualifier. There will be another one tomorrow, so if you want to see more CS action, don't be afraid to tune back in. 51 seems to be electing for a similar pistol round strat, which was just have a couple people sit top mid, let Disciple work, or J Mitchell rather this time, work out B halls, try and catch someone pushing. And it looks like they're going to go for a general mid control. If they can manage to control it, they're going to go for a B split in all likelihood. Bombs in isolation over on the other side of the map. Stanislaw, usually the connector player, is pushed all the way up top mid, has been contesting these 3 terrorists pretty much since the start of the round. Only real exchange happening is 46 damage on Loss and 6 onto Mo. As the terrorists are now going to start creeping up top mid, we're going to see if he can manage to drop anything. Zek manages to drop Mo on that first peek, and he actually did a bunch of damage through Arya. Arya's going to peek wide, miss the shot. Stanislaw's going to pick up and drop Arya in return, and Noswald, just getting a little too cheeky trying to go for that op, is going to go down to Stanislaw. It's now a 5-on-2 situation for the remaining 2 members of 51. J Mitchell's stuck in underpass. He's going to peek wide on Davey. Davey spotted him out. Just going to get in a quick AD tap battle with him. We have Disciple with a bomb sitting in lower A, trying to wait for, I'd imagine, J Mitchell to make a play. It seems to be the only real option for them right now is to try and split A, make some magic happen. 25 seconds left on the clock, though, so if 51 wants to do something, they have to do it now. Disciple walking out lower, catches slip in sight with a nice headshot. And just as that happens, unfortunately, Disciple goes down to Zek with the op. J Mitchell and Disciple really comboed well with those 2 headshots, but it's all for naught as J Mitchell goes down to Stanislaw in the 1v3. It was really good op work by Zek. Alright, Mark, what do you do if you're 51 right now? Because they've been crushed on any slow take that they've tried.
Well, I was really nervous that round because I thought that Mobility playing aggressive was going to be their first round loss because they were switching from their really passive setup, but they really bottlenecked 51, and it really screwed them over. I think that they just picked a really good round to do an aggro mid. I'd like 51 to just chill for a second, stop trying to work the op picks, and just do a full 5-man execution, which they might be trying to do with smokes and flashes. They could be trying that right now.
Alright, well, it looks like we're going to see just that. 5 rifle take on A. Stanislaw and Slip, waiting to see it come. Terrorists going to start executing right out of halls and lower right now. Disciple dropping out of halls. Does not check under box. Slip manages to pick up now. Instant 4v5. Terrorists are just getting caught out. They can't make any forward progress. They finally get a 2-for-2 trade, but now it's a 2-on-3 with all members of MG rotating in. Zek playing behind the smoke tries to spam J Mitchell through. He's going to have to swing and pick up spawn right now. He's posting on it. Sit off, dies jumping for no real apparent reason now. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Davey gets the insta-trade out now, so it's now all on Arya. No armor. No in position. Zek's not going to miss many of those. We're now sitting at a 7-0 lead here for Mobility in the NA FACEIT Qualifier. Finals for today. Whoever wins gets better seeding in the final qualifier for, being invited into the $50,000 FACEIT North American League. We're at the point now where Area 51 can buy out every round they want, but it looks like they're electing to save and probably pick up an op because I feel like they're just at a point where they need to find Mo a way to just jump out early and get some picks. Stanislaw's going to be pushing top mid. Going to run into pretty much every terrorist, but Mo manages to just chunk him down with that CZ, putting his team on their back foot all right off the bat. 20 seconds into the round, they're already down a player. 51's electing to go for full mid control. Dave's going to get caught out with a nade. He's lucky enough to survive, but only taking 23 damage. He's going to sit up here in ladder room. He's going to have his teammate Zek swing over from connector, and that's where the next action is going to be. Hits a nice shot onto Disciple. Peeks wide again. Davey managing to pick up 2 members of 51 just stuck out in mid, and a third for a nice hat trick. A relatively standard round coming in from Mobility, and they've really run away with it. It's 8-0. They've looked strong throughout. Stanislaus only managed to die 2 total rounds. Same for Zek, and same for Sideoff. It's just they're holding strong. They're winning the initial gun battles, and we're going to see Mo with an op finally. Or rather, again, see if he can actually manage to get an early pick with it.
I think that Mobility is playing excellent team setup. They're managed to play either the perfect amount of passive or the perfect amount of aggressive, and it's really shutting Area 51 down.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times that's what this game can boil down to, is just a really good guessing game. Sometimes if you just manage to find the bad guys first and catch them off flat-footed, you can win.
They're not making dumb peeks, like long-range peeks falling into Mo's op. They're playing dead passive, and if they're going to play aggro, they're going to commit full aggro, and they're going to do it with their whole team and use smokes and flashes like that one round.
Yeah, as you say that, we're going to see a general mid-take coming in from 51. Lost is going to get the first kill on Stanislaw, and Ari's going to get Davey. This is looking brilliant right now for 51. Sideoff and Zek are both in B site. Zek manages to catch Lawson coming up Cat now. 4-on-3 situation. It's kind of awkward though. Bomb is stuck all the way over at lower A. 2 members of Area 51 are in mid, with Jay Mitchell occupying the B halls. All 3 members of Mobility seem to be toward that B bomb site. Slip now just rotating back to A, realizing that they haven't had a full execute yet, and bomb could still be anywhere. 51 is going to elect to just try and sort of slip into this A bomb site and try and catch Slip off guard. Smoke comes out. He knows they're coming their way. He's playing behind it now. This is really good. He waits for Mo to drop down, gets legged for all of his troubles. And he's just hiding right in the smoke. Let's see if he can actually manage to get this off. Arya sprays down, though, manages to take him out. It's unfortunate. It was almost a really cheeky play coming in from Slip. 4-on-2 situation here for the last 2 members of Mobility as they try and retake. Arya's going to take out Zek. Just nice, calm spray. Sideoff gets blasted down to 15 health. Disciples Nate will finish him off, and we finally see signs of life from 51. As they got the first 2 picks in the round at mid, and sort of just let the round play out from there. Mobility, though, for all their troubles, still have plenty of money, still can buy. We're just going to see how they really adapt to that. We're going to see what I think the key right now for 51 is going to be trying to find a way to put Mo's off in a position to get them an opening pick. They kind of got lucky with Lawson grabbing that early exchange at the beginning of the round right there. I don't know if they're going to get twice. As we see Mobility electing to put Zek just planted right in the window, to try and stop that 51 early take mid. And the smoke failed, but he whiffs his shot on J Mitchell coming out wide mid now. Zek's going to have to recover from this pretty quickly. Whiffs the second shot, has to fall off, taking 43 points of damage now. So 51 has full control of mid now, 30 seconds in the round. Davey being the only really objection to that on Cat. As I say that, though, Zek decides re-peeking might be for him. Eats a nade, takes 23 damage, again, for little reason, as they begin to execute up connector. Stanislaw grabbing through. Arya finally trades out Stanislaw. Slip manages to get Disciple coming out of halls. Slip then picks up Arya. It's now a 1-on-3 situation here for Mo and Connector, with 50 seconds on the clock. And it looks like the server is paused, which will make this clutch a little less climactic, unfortunately.
Yeah. We're going to have to wait an extra minute to see if Mo can 1v3.
But, I mean, you know, there's only so much you can say about a match 10 rounds in where one team is 8 of the 10 rounds. We'll soon to see if Mo can manage to clutch out this one. But how are you liking the play of Mobility so far on CT side? And what do you see in 51's offense that seems to be lacking?
Mobility, they're playing really great team-based Counter-Strike with each other. They're getting a lot of trades. They're getting a lot of good crossfire setups. Whenever they go aggro, they do it together. Like they're definitely doing team Counter-Strike, which is great. I think that they just want this win more. I don't think that 51 really got on this Saturday and said, you know what, we're going to try really hard and play, try to win this tournament. Like, I don't think they really thought Mobility was going to be that big of an issue, so they didn't really prepare hardcore, because it looks like a lot of their T-side strats they're getting bottlenecked in a lot of situations. They're getting caught standing around a lot, and I think that's just because they didn't really prepare a whole lot. Right. But the rounds where they are able to get some sort of control, are able to get the entries and get out, like that round they got up mid and got mid control, they're able to do a lot with that. And a lot of these rounds are getting really close. It's just that it's going in Mobility's favor so far.
Right, yeah, we've seen actually a couple of times 51 managed to get relatively deep penetration in the A bomb site, but just not be able to affect the plant. What do you like? What about Mobility's rotations just allow them to sort of sit the round out and still have the ability to deal with a late hit like that?
They're using really smart rotations. They're not getting overly aggressive on either front. Like one thing that I thought was going to happen is I thought that their B player was going to get a lot more aggressive, because what you tend to see amongst invite teams is if you're not putting pressure on B, they'll send their B rotator to push through kind of flank mid and just get a lot of information, kind of like pushing through long A on Dust 2. They're not really doing a lot of that. They're opting to be a lot more passive. That was really anticlimactic because he died instantly. But
yeah. I mean, at least I love these kind of pauses, because it happens. We're gonna see like for 10 seconds, everyone's gonna be like, wait, pause, and then we're just gonna go right back in the action. But
yeah, the Mobility's playing really safe. They're not overextending a lot. They're making the right rotates at the right time.
And it looks like we're gonna see a force buy come in here from 51. A little bit of fiddling around in spawn is that's personally a big gripe for me, is when you're 10 seconds into the round and we're still trying to figure out what guns to buy. It's just But it looks like we're going to see Area 51 here setting up for a smoke take on A. Again, we're going to still have the A players, or Stanislaw and Slip. See what they can do, manage this time. No real peaks yet. And I like what Mobility is doing right now. They have Davey in window. He usually plays in the ladder right now, but he's peeking down into underpass because it's been 30 seconds of the round. There's been no action at mid. I think it's a really intelligent play by CTs, where if you're just not seeing anything, take some creative but safe peeks. As you were saying, they're playing really safe CT defense. But they're also doing their best to get information when they aren't presented anything, and it's crucial in this game, because half the battle is just knowing where your opponents can't be, and the ability to pre-aim is immense. As we see, we got 4 terrorists loaded up towards A, smokes in hands. Ari's going to get it started off, smoking off the stairs, and the hit is underway. First actually be Stanislaw taking out Lawson coming up the ramp, dropping Aria quickly after that. Mo manages to find Slip under the balcony. Stanislaw drops a third now. Grabbing Mo at Hall. Zek drops the second bomb. Late connector hit coming in from Jay Mitchell now. A 1-on-4. Doesn't pull it off. Stanislaw manages to finish out the quad kill. And that was just brutal from the word go, as Stanislaw completely uncontested at trips. The triple stack boxes at the back of sight by CT. Had perfect line of sight on lower and just was able to take him out one by one. We're going to see another force by coming in from 51, though, even though they don't have that money bonus love, since they managed to win 2 rounds back. And they're just going to go straight for a B hit. They're not electing to go for any early mid control. They're just going to hold for the push. Smart plays, considering Mobility's managed to get up there a couple of times in their grill. They're just going to sit out the smoke with Side Off sitting on the other side of it. Side Off not doing terrible for his team. They're up 10-1. You can't complain. He's sitting at 3-3, though, as it looks like 51's electing to just attack mid and A and just give no love to Side Off. Jump peeks to try and see there. Gets a couple bullets shot his way for his trouble. But that nade did do a good amount of damage there onto Mo. 51's just electing to sit around for what will inevitably be a smoke take. Smokes are coming in now. Side Off flash out. Pop flashes Halls. Just waits now. Davey stuck in sight with him. As members of Mobility are rotating in, just expecting that call to come out. Zek peeked the window for a sec, fell off. Side Off's jumping up. He probably... it looks like he didn't manage to see anybody, but flashes to come in, so the game is on. As Zek gets the opening shot on Aria. Side Off manages to get one jumping out window. Davey combines for Mo on sight with Side Off. Disciple manages to drop 2. Oh, that was a nice shot onto Davey now. This will be an immense 1v5. He pulled off. 30 seconds on the clock. Nade right in his kitchen right before anything fun can happen. As 51 goes down once again, bringing our scoreline to 11-1.
I feel like Area 51, they're making an effort to be really organized, but I feel like the fact that I don't think that they really are as organized as they're trying to be, and a lot of times teams that make an effort to do organized strats, when they don't really have organized strats, it really screws you over a lot more than just pugging.
Fairly reminiscent of a LAN you attended once, Mark? As we see Davey with the lower A catch 4 members of the terrorist side. But this is actually looking good for 51, as they managed to collect both Slip and Davey's gun for their trouble. It's a 4-on-3. They actually have a positive situation. Sidoff is pushed all the way to top mid, though. So if they do elect to go back B, he will be able to call it, or he'll be able to contest it. Zek supporting with the op. So basically it's all on Stanislaw to just lock it down in a bomb site. Arya is walking through halls, though, with a Quiet Colt, a Smoke, and a CZ to his name. Full health. The other gun is resting with Jay Mitchell right now. His health isn't really pretty for anyone on 51. The problem is, if any of them get chunked, even a little bit by a rifle, they're going to get aim punch, and the bullets are going to do a lot more damage on them of armor. Zek gets cheeky into lower, sees 3 of them, re-peeks. Arya manages to catch him from Halls. It's a 2-on-2 now. Stanislaw drops Noswald lower. Stanislaw manages to pick up Arya again, just perfectly unpeaking. It was a very intelligent play. Jay Mitchell stuck in a 1-on-2. Stanislaw doesn't care. Stanislaw is law. Picks up another 3K, raising his scoreline to 23-4 for the half. My goodness, and we're just looking mobility, completely shutting 51 down right now, 12-1.
You're just getting to the point where momentum comes in now. And Platt told me to tell you to slap yourself for that comment, by the way.
Stan is law. Shoutouts to John Smith. We're gonna see 2 ops coming in from 51. So I guess when you're losing, the best thing to do is op as much as you can. Mo's gonna get the first peek on mid, and just hold the crack on connector. He's elected to do that, and Arya managed to pick up Zek peeking from Halls. That was a good play. Zek, it's just 51's finally deciding to peek a little more actively and go for a little more map control. And now it's a 5-on-4. Stanislaw picking up the op though. Arya might get a second chance at Romance if Law decides to peek wide again. He elects not to, just swings back towards mid window, picks up his rifle, says, "That's not my lifestyle choice. I prefer 30 bullets." And we're just seeing real slow play coming in from 51 as they get the first kill, and then they've elected to do exactly nothing for the next 30 seconds. Stanislaw peeking wide mid, manages to catch Lawson out at top mid. Nothing comes of it though, no damage, just information traded. It looks like we're going to see 51 trying... They're disengaging from A, and it looks like they're electing to go back to B. Jay Mitchell's already posted up in B halls, just making sure nothing gets pushy. As 2 members of 51 are trying to go up Cat, they managed to catch Slip, I think, in sight. They shot at him, but they missed. Stanislaw is now going to be peeking from Connector. This is pretty much going to make or break the round for 51. 30 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to start making plays. 2 different actions. B halls. Lawson manages to catch Davey on Cat. B halls is going to be held by Fidos. If he doesn't get it, it's over. Jay Mitchell takes him out for his troubles. It's now a 5-on-2 situation here for the members of Mobility Game, and they have to get to B right now. Bomb's going to be planted. They're going to have all 5 members toward the B bomb site. Arya posted on kitchen, drops Stanislaw, putting Slip in a 1-on-5, and he's going to elect to save this off. He's going to whiff on Lawson on Cat. He's going to go for a second chance, whiff again. Lawson must be enjoying the breeze right now, as Slip is going to elect to save in the middle of the A bomb site. Finally connects on Jay Mitchell, 3 shots in. Whiffs it, 3 out of 4, 4 for 5, and goes down finally to Lawson. Make-believe time is over. Mobility loses their second round of the half. They're going to have plenty to buy for last, though, and that was just Area 51 doing a complete paradigm shift from what we've seen the past, 13 rounds of this half.
Wasn't this team Slip's last team an invite? This 51, not necessarily with Disciple and Lawson, but with Jay Mitchell and Area.
I believe. Yes, yeah. It was the same idea in Spirit. He was actually he was playing with our. I'm not sure actually. I might be wrong. I think his last invite team was with Netcode Guides.
Oh right.
But we're just going to see, again, 51 realizing the way they win rounds against this team is by getting early control, at least trying to contest early. As they're going to finally run into what Mobility's default setup has been for the entire half on CT. There's nobody at mid peeking at the start. Zek finally is going to... Or no, Stanislaw, actually. As Zek was all the way over at A halls. I completely missed that. As he picks up Arya, trying to get cheeky on a little peek. 3 members of 51 are overloaded toward B. Mo's in mid with his off, just trying to work something out. He's going to walk in on Connector and try and catch someone in sight. Not going to see anything. He's going to be contesting Stanislaw on window soon, and Davies elected to get off of Cat, go toward window. Sideoff manages to catch Jay Mitchell out in halls, and Davies going to combine with him to get Lawson. Now it's a 2-on-5 situation here for Mo and Disciple with 40 seconds on the clock. They seem to smell him up there for some reason, because Sideoff and Davey are just posted. Sideoff gets a little lazy with that flash, gets dropped dead for his troubles. Mo was really cheeky. He was all the way up in jungle. Slip managed to spin around and just clip him. Now put it on a 1-on-4 here for Disciple. He needs the ace to win. He's going to catch Davey jumping wide. He's going to try and just juke him out. Gets dropped by a crouch spray from a Quiet Colt. And that is just 5 bullets right in your chest real quick. And we're going to see a 13-2 half here for Mobility Gaming. Again, this is Go RAGN TV. I am your play-by-play tonight, Cannon Chow. Joining me on colors, Mark the Shark. He's currently celebrating a week. It's a holiday for his people. Say shout-outs to Sharks.
Yep, we're now sponsored by Discovery Channel's Shark Week for this week.
Check out Planet Earth. It's now on sale. I'm making that up. Please do not. But this is all in service of the North American qualifiers for the FACEIT Go League, a $50,000 LAN tournament to be held at the end of the regular season, which, if you like competitive Counter-Strike, probably awesome for you. Looks like we're waiting to get the second half started. Not everyone's readied up yet, so we're just going to wait. But, Mark, you've only managed 2 rounds on T side of a map that's generally considered CT sided. How concerned are you that the next half is just going to slip away?
Well, you really need to hope that Mobility isn't as prepared on T side as you were, because if they have good takes, it could be the end of the game right there. I mean, like we said before, if teams are kind of pugging it, this map can be very CT sided. The only way it can be really T sided is if you have good takes, like for A take or a good mid control. Without those, you can get shut down on CT very quickly. And it depends if Mobility comes in and they have. I believe this is their starting. Well, I don't know if this is their starting 5 or not. Somebody told me Slip's a backup, and somebody told me he's starting, so I'm not sure. But
I could enlighten. I believe. The magic word right now is Slip is filling in for Strider while Strider is on vacation or dealing with something for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But he might stay on if he performs well enough. Who knows? But this is essentially Mobility's starting 5.
Okay.
And 51's in that awkward situation where Mo can only play in CEVO and non-ESEA leagues, and I know Jay Mitchell is. Yeah, if you're unaware, Jay Mitchell is backup for this roster. He's not part of the routine starting 5. Nitro is elsewhere on the Saturday night.
We have to assume that Area 51. I heard it was Nitro's birthday today, actually. But we have to assume that Area 51, or no, I'm sorry, Mobility has good T strats, and they're going to be using them. So this could be very troublesome for Area 51.
I actually had the fortune to play against them in the CEVO PT tournament with Aware Gaming, and they do have a respectable T side. They aren't necessarily committed to doing rapid takes, or at least they weren't a matter of months ago. Or it might have been just a month ago, I don't know. My brain is going to mush as the summer wears on. But they seem to be more about slow work, and they're more reliant on their teamwork on T side than about just throwing a guy out there to get a bunch of kills and sort of just let their fragging ability take over. As again, we're just waiting for a ready up. The fun. Oh, and shoutouts to Nitro birthday though. Happy birthday, Nick Carlson. Happy birthday. And also shoutouts to exciting scorelines of the night. Brought to you by GoRGN TV. We have Slip coming in with the gorgeous score of 9, 9, and 9.
I was about to say he's about to go for the double-double coming into this next half.
That would be. I would be agog if he managed to go 10, 10, 10. Ooh.
So how would you get a triple-double in this game? Like, I always think that maybe a triple-double would be like bomb defusals, maybe? Or... No,
we need another stat. I think the cheeky way to do it would be, I know HLTV keeps track of it, is number of headshots you get. So you get double-digit kills, double-digit headshots, but that's kind of,
That would be pretty cool, I guess.
Kinda. As we finally go live, we're going to see a pistol round. It's going to be an A-take coming in, unless something really crazy happens and they just decide forget it. Smoke's coming in. It's going to be all on Arya and his CT teammate, Jay Mitchell. Slip jumps out of halls. Zek goes down in halls. Arya spamming the smoke. Slip pushes Jay Mitchell all the way back in spawn now as Mobility has full control of the site. They're just all aggroing. The 2 members of Mobility are aggroing to spawn to try and catch Jay Mitchell off guard and leave Davey alone to site the plant. Nice touchdown coming in from Jay Mitchell. Nice job of surviving. He has done a ton of damage to Mobility this round as his teammates are just going to rotate in behind, put Slip on a 1-on-3 situation with only 23 health in spawn. All 3 members of 51 are going to just chase? Why not? As they finally drop him, someone finally gets to defuse, and we see a pistol round victory for 51, the 3rd round that they've actually managed to win in this half. And Mark, what'd you see in that pistol?
Jay Mitchell's ability to stay alive right there and just kind of be a decoy for 2 players from Mobility was crucial. Because Area got that one tap when they were coming out of halls, which was a really nice shot. I don't know if he was spamming or what, probably. But Jay Mitchell able to control 2 of the terrorists himself just by staying alive and hiding. That was huge.
Oh, man. And we're going to see actually something I really, really enjoy on Eco Rounds is that we're just going to see a rerun of pistol round coming in from Mobility as they're going to plow 5 guys out of lower A ramp. Slip's going to go down to Mo, spamming from trips. Arya's going to grab Zek, Arya's going to grab Davey, Mo's going to grab Sit-Off, Stanislav's going to grab Mo with that Glock, the Glock of Doom. We did see a plant. Mobility's going to lose that round, but we're going to see a buy here. And unfortunately, folks, Slip is no longer 9-9-9, not even close to 10-10-10. It's just 10-9-11. Unfortunate.
That's almost cool. I mean,
it's almost cool.
If
we're going to see Mo with a scout.
That would be cool.
That would be hype. But we're going to see Mo with a scout. Maybe that'll be hype. We're going to see a couple of members from Mobility Gaming at top mid, so maybe some magic will happen. Disciple getting side off by pushing underpass, as I decide to talk over the less exciting action of Mo whiffing a scout shot at mid. It's going to flash him off. 2 members of Mobility out there. Zek is blind. Slip is blind at top mid. They're going to try and sort of catch him off position. They're going to catch Disciple coming out of underpass, and Zek just grabs him quick. Slip gets chunked down by Mo's scout. How vicious is. We're going to see a flash coming in from window. Is Mo going to try and repeat again, get something done? He does. He manages to connect on Slip. Zek has yet to hit a shot on Mo and window. Mo only taking 7 damage for his trouble. Davey snuck out of halls, managed to drop Arya in sight. I'm just captivated by this Mo scout action in mid as Zek has bomb. He's all the way up connector. A-bomb site's open, but the Mobility Gaming members are yet to be privy to that information. Jay Mitchell stuck up in CT spawn. It's a 3-on-2 situation, 45 seconds left on the clock. Zek's going to go for a peak connector, just take the bomb towards site, and he's going to go for a play that could be brutal, but Lawson goes down to Stanislaw. Now it's a 2-on-2. Back still to connector. Zek is going to get caught out here, get chunked in the back, but Mo just did not connect and kill the guy, so now it's still a 2-on-2. Peeking wide on Sandwich. Mo goes down to Zek. Now it's a 1-on-2 for Jay Mitchell, who's been in spawn this whole time. Peeks up top on the toll booth, catches Zek, only drops him down to 41 now. He's going to push out wide. Not catch him at Sandwich Box, but Zek's just going to prove the better by shooting him right in the face. We're going to see a 14-4 now coming in from
That was a huge loss right there.
Yep.
I would also like to think that Mo Scout was a tribute to Shark Week and to some extent a tribute to me. So thank you, Mo.
Shout outs to Sharks. Shout outs to Blood in the Water.
Yes.
We're going to see a force buy coming in here for 51, and Mobility is going to stick to the plays that they love, which are playing passive, waiting a little bit, not getting too nuts. We're going to see Davey actually push pretty close down in the halls. He's going to see loss and spam a little bit, miss. Slide off just posted up on the lower A, push. Zek and his buddy Slip are sitting top mid waiting for a push. Stan is Law was waiting T-spawn. Just, again, they're trying to contain pushes. They're not going to elect to get too much map control, and it looks like they're going to go for a B hit. Again, all the members of 51 are forced up with whatever they have. Mo alone with pretty much a 5-7, a couple nades, and a dream in window. As the members of Mobility are going to elect to go up Cat. Stanislav's probably going to get first action here, first peek on Mo. Maybe we'll combine with Slip. As it turns out, no. The Disciple was pushed all the way down Cat, managed to chunk down Zek, and just sort of make them a little more paranoid about pushes. 50 seconds left on the clock. Davey's going to go down and Hall's alone now. The full take is on at B. Disciple drops one down on Cap, gets bomb down, drops another as Mo combines with him from connector, just spam through smoke and grab a couple himself. Mo getting a little too pushy though for his own good. Dies to side off at top mid. It'll be a 1-on-5 if side off can manage to pull it off. He's walking here on Cat, just going to try and elect to sneak his way up and try and get in there. Disciple waiting for him. Sprays down Disciple, but Arya combined with his teammate on Cat to do a really solid crossfire. 51's going to win their 5th round of the match, and it looks like we're going to see a save coming in here for Mobility.
Arya's been coming in huge these last few rounds. He's really making an impact on the game, trying to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. He's seeming to find a way to get kills that 51 needs to win rounds and convert on them when they actually have chances. So even though he traditionally isn't a high-fragging player for that team, he's doing a really good job of trying to occupy a role that seems to be a little bit lacking right now with a couple members of 51 missing.
Well, it's unfortunate they're missing Nitro, who I think is probably one of their top fraggers. And I'm not sure what role Darky plays for them. I know that he likes to frag too, but I'm not sure if that's how they use him.
And we're going to see a fake take coming in here from Mobilities. They're going to throw 2 out of halls, 2 out of lower A ramp. Mo and Arya just cleaning up, slip dropping Jay Mitchell. This might be crucial as Stanislaw, other side of the map, is going to just sneak in and plant the bomb at B. So a successful eco coming in here for Mobility. We'll see if Stanislaw can actually get anything else done. He's going to manage to knife Lawson. He's going to spray down Arya now. This is a beautiful play. $1,500 in the bank. A chance to actually win the round now. It's a 1-on-2 situation. He's going to see Disciple running in from Cat. He's just going to run straight into the site and try and find him out now. Plays behind the smoke. Little does he know, Mo's rotating in from behind. Pushes into the site, catches Disciple with a nade out. 30 health left. This will be a brilliant 1-on-4 if he can do it. There's no time left on the clock. Mo's got to go for it. Stanislaw has won. A brilliant 1v4. Bomb is about to blow up. Mobility is on match point. And my goodness. Immediately started off by getting a shank, a spray down, pushing through smokes. Everything everybody loves about CSGO wrapped into one.
That's demoralizing right there. I don't know if Area 51 has the heart to come back from that.
I would have rested my head on my keyboard and just waited for the server to crash. That is just brutal in so many ways. And it was just an absolute, again, it was a cheeky, brilliant play from Stanislav. I mean, most people are thinking, well, I got the bomb down, I'll just try and shoot somebody to death. But he just managed to position himself perfectly at the end, get the backstab on. That poor counter-terrorist had no idea that he would suddenly have to deal with, a gunfight. Jumps up as a reaction, which just let Stanislav get a spray down going. And now it's a 1-on-2. So the one rotating member of 51, Disciple, is going all the way up Cat, and Mo is just super late. Disciple, at Speak of the Devil, manages to grab Zek, but flashes back the last round, just goes down to Stanislav. Looks like we're going to see a full B taken here. Lawson's going to be inside, drops Davey. A little bit of server chug. Lawson's going to go down to the side off. J-Mesh is going to get a 2 for a spray down now. It's all 1-on-3 for Stanislav. See if he can manage to pull off some magic again. Bomb's going to go down. 51's going to jump through the window. J Mitchell's not going to have any of it this round.
To Area 51's credit, they did not let that last round close them out. They're trying to come back.
Well, they're still playing. They're still shooting back. And it's going to be now 15-6 for 51. Or 15-6, rather, for Mobility. 51 managing to collect again, finally. Their 6th round of the half. And again, I mean, we're just sort of living the glow of that crazy clutch. Unfortunately, though, 2 bomb plants, losing 9 members of the past 2 rounds, is going to be too much for the economy, though, for Mobility, as they're going to have to save right now. We're going to see CZs, a P250. The only exotic equipment is Stanislav decided to get head armor, a decoy, and a smoke. Davey went with small armor, and Slip has a smoke himself. And it's going to be right toward A. Arya's a bit of a dangerous spot right now, as he's going to have 3 members of the T side just sitting right there behind the smoke. Soon to be 4 as Zek runs out of halls with bomb. It looks like they're electing to go B. This is an interesting call as they were already set up for an A take. Arya pushed through though, catches Slip after he throws his smoke. Stanislav manages to drop Arya. J-Mitch was caught out in sight. He's chunked all the way down to 31 HP. There's only 4 members now of 51 in the server though, as it looks like someone disconnected Mo, I believe. 2 members of Mobility are going to be walking through halls now, or rather thunderfooting their way through. Lawson's going to be waiting for them. Manages to do a little bit of damage to Zek. He's managed to do a little bit of damage to the side off as well. Bomb is down now. It's all on Lawson, though, as on the other side of the map, Stanislav and I believe it was Davey were able to combine and grab a couple of kills. Doesn't matter, though. Stanislav swept the whole way through A and just took out Lawson, who was stuck on Cat because he saw the bomb go down, and a bit of a flat finish to what was otherwise an interesting match for maybe the past 4 rounds is, 51 was stuck with 4 players on the final round, and, Mobility just capitalized by getting a little pushy at the right moment. And that'll be your final line for this match. It's 16-6 victory for Mobility Gaming, and they win the preliminary round of this NA FACEIT qualifier to be admitted into their league, which will conclude with a 50K LAN tournament at the end of that regular season. So, Mark, what are your final thoughts? You got any real idea, any real way to sort of write this loss, spin this yarn?
I don't know. I think the Mobility just wanted it more. I think that they had something to prove coming in playing against an invite team. I feel like 51 kind of just, I don't really think they're the kind of team that's going to come in on a Saturday and try really hard on a tournament that's, not going to be for a bunch of money. This is just a qualifier, so I don't think that they really prepared very hard for it, and they're probably not happy about losing, but at the same time, you really get what you put in, and I feel like Mobility just wanted it more.
Alright, well, it looks like we're actually going to be bringing Stanislav in for a post-game interview, so don't go anywhere. Should be interesting to just sort of get in the mind of the man who managed to pull off a clutch, starting it with a knife kill. Not every day you get to see that, folks.
He did start that clutch with a knife, didn't he? That's intense.
Yeah, that's what made it just so absolutely baffling, is just a lot of people, again, would just elect to sort of either sit with a bomb, wait for a rotator to come in, shoot him in the face, maybe get a kill or do some damage, but all he has is a Glock to his name. And, he just proved right there that a lot of times you gotta just take random risks in this game. As bad as that is, as terrible as that will be for developing players to sort of internalize, is that if it's gonna be super unexpected and you got nothing to lose, no reason not to try it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people get caught up, in my opinion, playing way too standard, and a lot of times you can't do that, especially if you're playing against invite teams. You can't play standard because they know how to counter standard setups. You have to do things that are out of the ordinary. You have to catch them off their guard.
And he did just that. As we're just right now we're playing a quick game of let's see how many channels Stanislav can join before he can actually manage to make his way into this one. But once he does get in here, we're going to start firing some questions at him, trying to get in the mind of a man who just managed to crush Area 51 16-6 on DE Mirage and win this FACEIT qualifier. The legend himself has joined. Stan is Law, or Stanislaw, as some of you may know him. of Mobility Gaming. Congrats on winning 16-6 first off. I think the tip of everyone's mind right now is, what was going through your head for that 1v4 clutch? Why did you elect to start off with a knife of all things?
Well, first of all, I don't think I had any business winning that round, so I figured I'd just get a knife kill and have some fun with it. And then the second guy had no idea what just happened, so I ended up getting the kill on him. And then I knew the other two were split up, so I had a chance to win it, and somehow I did.
Isn't that the best? Like when you don't expect it and it just like falls into place perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of curiosity, how loudly was everyone laughing in your mumble as that was occurring?
It was actually dead silent because they wanted me to win it so badly.
You can hear them laughing on the end game right afterward.
We lost the round right after that because we were laughing too hard.
I mean, I guess that's how it goes sometimes. So I've got to ask, for Mobility's perspective, you're playing with Slip right now, who I'm led to believe is currently filling in for Strider. Did that affect your preparation at all coming into today's set of qualifying matches? And do you feel that put you at any sort of advantage or disadvantage heading into a matchup against an invite team like 51?
Well, Strider left 10 days ago, so we've been playing with Slip for about a week now, so we've had time to prepare. And I think we've been doing pretty well with Slip, but overall, I think, well, our goal was to win this qualifier, and we went ahead and did that. So we're happy with what we did today.
Majority of the matches were veto system, right?
Yes.
So did you guys try to get as much Mirage as possible? I think that was the last played ECA map, correct? Or was it Dust 2? Our schedule is all skewed because Out by Power and Cloud9 are out. So okay, yeah, we haven't got to play a Mirage match yet.
Yeah, our whole thought process was that Dust 2 was just way too random, and we didn't really practice Nuke with Slip yet, so we just left it up to the other maps. And it usually ended up being on Cache and Mirage, and Area51 decided to veto Cache, so.
Well, that's good. That's good to get. You definitely want to have your final match on a map that's just fresh in your mind. You've just gone over it. That's pretty. That's fortunate. I could say the same for them, but it seemed like they were a little bit unorganized. That might be because they were down 2 players, but you guys have also been using a backup as well. So
yeah, it's a shame that threads are blowing up that apparently they threw.
People are going to say that.
That's taking credit away from how my team played, because they all played amazingly. So,
well,
I think we deserve that win.
Oh, that being said, yes, you definitely played well enough to win that match. So I don't think there's any way you could dispute that. I think most people make those threads though as a result of they threw essentially money down on their team to win, and it didn't happen. So obviously it's got to be a fluke, right? Because the most intelligent people in the world are the ones that put the bet down on the losing team. That being said, let's move on to more interesting topics for Mobility. I'm curious, so with Slip in the mix now, is he still essentially confirmed to be the 6th, or are there plans to actually integrate him fully into the lineup and bring him along with you to Paris if you can manage to fund your way to ESWC upcoming?
No, for now he's just filling in for a Strider because he went on vacation. It's as simple as that.
So it's unfortunate having matches in the summer season, because I feel like every single summer season I've ever played in, we've had to use backups for a week or two because it's summer, people are going out.
Yeah, but Slip's a fantastic backup with tons of experience, so
yeah, he's one of the best backups you can get.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions in chat if there's anything you want to ask from Stanislaw, who is the in-game leader for Mobility. Just managed to conquer Area 51 on Mirage 16-6. Stanislaw, I've got to ask, because your team seems to have really risen to the top within the past couple of seasons. How did this team come together? Who are like the main personalities that drive Mobility Gaming?
Well, the core was me, Sidoff, and Davey. We've been playing together for a few years now, and when we decided to make a team, then we just simply advertised on ESEA, and that's how we ended up finding Strider and Zek. So we had a really solid season with a core 5. We didn't switch anyone out, so it's really beneficial to have set 5 for a long period of time.
So just working your way to the top, which is, again, it's a good story for people who are just starting out, because a lot of the times you just see these super groups get thrown together. People just have a wicked amount of experience, and the only way you're allowed to play with them is if you have a wicked amount of experience. So it's nice to see just people manage to come together, congeal, and actually make a real roster.
Yeah, recently our we attended ESWC qualifiers and we ended up placing second. So, I mean, we've really been improving over the past few months, and I think it's really starting to show with our results.
Coming into this match today, was there any sort of thought process, specifically for the Mirage match, that you wanted to do starting on T side, or rather CT side? Was there any way you wanted to play against a team like 51?
No, we don't really worry about how other teams play. We just worry about our game, and that proved to be beneficial because,
13-2 CT side.
Yeah. Mirage is our best map after all.
Okay, there you have it. If you're playing mobility in the future, don't forget to veto that map first. Out of curiosity, you guys seem to do something on CT side that I found interesting because a lot of teams don't elect to do this right off the bat. The way you guys control mid is by just having Davey stuck up in ladder room by himself, and you sometimes come and support from connector, or sometimes you'll throw Zex op there to sort of give a different perspective. Is there any particular reason why you decided to go with that setup with essentially 3 turret A, 1 ladder, kind of cat-ish, and side off on an island at B?
Well, I pretty much just go off how I feel, so I really can't explain how my thought process works. It's just I'm pretty much countering during the game, like how the other team's playing. I'm really good at adapting to what they're doing, so they really never took mid control, so we were able to play passive almost every round.
And is that the preferred play style for mobility, you'd say? Is it more passive setup?
Like I said, we don't really have a set play style. We play the team that we adjust during the match. I guess that's the best way to explain it. We don't go into like a match with a mindset of saying, okay, we got to play passive right away.
Just gonna go with the flow of the match.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
That's good. It's good to not base your setups around another team's setups. You always need to play your game, and a lot of teams, my own included, it really messes with us actually if people tell us, oh, they do this on their pistol round. You should like they're gonna rush A or something like that, and so like we try to like counter that, and we end up screwing ourselves over because like they either don't do it or like they do it and we were trying too hard to counter it, and we ended up just not playing our own game. Like it's better to just play the way you're comfortable with than trying really hard to counter strat people.
Yeah, exactly. We're confident in our ability, so we just play the way we play, and it's proved to be working very well for us.
So the future of MG right now, I think you're sitting pretty in Premier with a 6-1 record, if I'm not mistaken, and you do have that ESWC tournament coming up in November, late October, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, October 28th.
Where do you plan on seeing mobility gaming this time next season in ESCA or elsewhere? Like, what are the plans for mobility right now?
Well, I think our ambition is to be an invite on the ESCA, and we want to take it one event at a time. So the fact that we qualified for France is a huge opportunity for us to gain some experience on the international scene, and I actually think we have a good chance of doing well. But yeah, this time next season, I think we'll definitely be an ESCA invite and, giving teams a run for their money.
That's good, man. I think that you guys are a really solid. I would have said up and coming team a season ago, but now I don't think you're up and coming because I think people know like generally who you are now. But I thought I actually, like, to be honest, I actually would have bet on you guys today, but I couldn't because I'm using this Go Lounge script and it's not updated, so my bet couldn't go through. But
Nice.
I think that you guys have been doing really well lately, and I like seeing teams like you guys come in who just commit and put in the time, because that's really all you need to do in this game is just commit a bunch of time and have 5 like-minded people who want to put in, the work and do strats and dry run and play a lot. That's all you really need to succeed, and I'm glad to see you guys are doing that.
Well, guys, if you don't have anything to ask in chat, I think we're going to come close to wrapping it up soon. So, again, I just want to thank you, Stanislav, for coming in, taking the time to talk to us. And again, congratulations on winning today.
All right, thanks a lot.
And with that, I think we're going to call it quits here at GoRGN TV. Thanks for tuning in. Before you go, though, just a shout-out again to our sponsors at Reliable Gaming Network of Edge Gaming Servers, Elite Clothing, fantastic resources, people. Go check them out. They're awesome. We'd like to thank FACEIT for letting us cast their qualifier. If you like the action you saw today, don't be afraid to tune in again tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST for more matches that'll probably be listed on CSGO Lounge and don't be afraid to use ReadyBet.com too if you want to get all your betting services in right away. I just want to thank you guys again for tuning in. I was Kanichow doing the play-by-play. Tonight was Mark doing the color. Mark, got any closing thoughts?
Not especially. I think you covered.
Well, in lieu of Mark saying anything special, I'm going to say go celebrate Shark Week. Bite someone in half.
That's it, guys. You got to watch Shark Week. It's almost over. You don't miss out.
Don't miss out. But yeah, again, thanks again for tuning in, folks. Come back here tomorrow for more sick Counter-Strike action. See ya.